When I met my wife I met her in 1999, and she actually was in graduate school in Pennsylvania.
We've both been homebrewers for years, both in college separately. We didn't even know we both homebrewed until we moved in together and both had the same Williams Brewing kits that we moved in with together. And I said, I have that, and he said, I have that. And
so we got together when we first started dating. We made a couple batches of beer then, and we're like, hey, this is kind of neat. And
it was kind of one of those, oh, we both like beer and like to homebrew beer.
I was laid off work, all right, so, and it was 2009, 10, tough time in the construction industry, which was my previous career, so we were looking for options. What can I do for work?
My husband had been a stay-at-home dad for the last 18 months when we went to this beer fest 2 years ago, and he just decided, he'd been homebrewing quite a bit over that time, and decided, I could do this too. These guys are no different than me. I can brew beer, and I like beer, and I know it tastes good, and I think I can do this just like these guys that are already here doing this. And at the time I said, okay, that sounds great. Have fun with that.
So we bet the farm, kind of cashed in some 401k, and here we are today.
So why start a brewery in Hudsonville? Well, we live in Hudsonville, so we wanted something that we can connect with our community.
When we started to look for a place to open this brewery, if we were going to do it, found a couple other buildings outside of the city of Hudsonville, contacted the local authorities there. You know, it didn't have such success, wasn't greeted very, you know, with the same excitement as I was with Hudsonville. So when we came here, started asking around, they actually said, hey, we'll try and help you find a place, you know, we're really interested, we'd love to have your business here in town. So, I mean, that was a big plus to feel welcomed.
I think the other novelty of Hudsonville, of course, is that it was dry for so long, and we are the first brewery in Hudsonville, and it's good to be first at something.
After we decided that, you know, I think we can do this brewery thing, we thought we needed next to come up with a name.
The name, White Flame. So our last name is White, Bill White, Jen White, and when I was in high school, my nickname was The Flame in track. So I ran track all through high school and college, and it just stuck. I'd like to believe it was because I was fast, but it's mostly because of this, the hair.
So we put them together, we got White Flame, we came up with this cool little logo, and you know, it got legs, so kind of grew out of that. It's not what you might have seen at some of the other places around town. It's not gigantic tanks and huge stainless steel vats and machines everywhere. It's really, you know, a few small kettles and some small fermenters, and you know, we make do with what we got, but we're making great beer. So our beers are all ales. Some are hoppier than others, some are darker than others, but we have a good range of American style ales, I would say. We've added a few taps. Actually, we've added 6 taps since we first started. So we have 11 now. We started with 5. So that has actually spread the demand across 11 different beers. So when I run out of 1 or 2, we still have some other things to offer. About halfway through this first year, I was able to bring on full-time Andy Steenbergen as a head brewer. He'd been helping for quite a while. And was excited about this opportunity.
I bartend too, which is kind of nice. So on the weekends I'm in here and I can actually explain to people a lot more than they ask, and which is good. People need to understand more about what's going into your beer, when you add certain hops for what flavors, but I love to try and explain as much as I can to people and teach them as much as I can, pass on the knowledge.
There's such variety in craft beer. You can tell 10 different people to make an IPA and you will end up with 10 amazingly different, all good, but amazingly different beers. There are so many different ways you can make the same type of beer, and there's so many things you can put into it, and people are coming up with new things all the time, and you just never, not only is the market not saturated for craft beer, but the palate's never saturated. And that's the amazing thing about craft beer enthusiasts, is their palate's never saturated.
Our motto is blood, sweat, and beers.